PSG's return to Rocket League was destined to be great.
Right, time. Somebody hit the stopwatch. We know what the time is now. It was 49 minutes until NRG was mentioned on the mainstream. I'm Shogun, joined by Johnny, and we have got number 7 versus number 8. I tell you what, next time I think we can go for the world records.
Yeah, this is such a massive series. This is the return of BDS to form. But a new look with Rise. Exciting to see what they're going to be capable of. But really, for me, yesterday, it was Monkeyman and Seiko that were under the microscope. Everybody knows that Rise is going to perform under pressure. That is what he does. It's what he has done in the open era. When Lance came back, Seiko's been off. But he's back now, and already almost to the score sheet early on.
So, oh my goodness, wait, I got from nowhere. Well, I was going to try and set myself up some storylines, but apparently we don't have time for that. Just to really very quickly set this up for everybody, though. This is humongous when it comes to World's qualification. Monkey Moon up against Tox, and Tox wins. Actually, there might be a fruit to break out here. Tox, backboard, double tap, saved away. And now I'm going to continue my story mode. I also still got the time. But with G1 already being out, that number 6 spot very, very up in the ropes. So a win here allows you to move on, eliminate your nearest rivals, and keep on with the opportunity of earning more points later in the tournament. All right, I'm done. You're allowed to start scoring some goals.
You know, Seiko also repping the new popular Kiwi wheels. Hasn't really taken the world by storm yet. Catalysm will open the scoring here. Monkeyman, I think, actually tried to snipe the corner wall with that clear, but it bounces flat off the sidewall into the middle. Bit of a mistouch there from Monkeyman. Not clearing the danger. Catalysm all over it.
That's just awkward. Every single time you see it, you just have a little sigh to yourself, going, why did that not do what I wanted it to do? Seiko now in. Seiko's going to be the player of a lot of questions to answer throughout this split, because everyone, when they heard it was extra moving out, well, Seiko was the other name that came up from people and go, well, maybe why not? Yeah, go into the split, get yourself a couple of regional wins, and to make sure that you have a chance to defend your World Championship. Maybe those questions can be answered. Here comes Rise. Player that went downwards in points from 3rd place to 8th. If he thinks that this is the team to get into the World Championship, then it is a massive play by him. But first they've got to get there. Making difficult for the now, though. Monkey Moon, backboard, double tap for Rise. One each.
Rise equalizes for BDS, but it's all Monkey Moon with the air dribble, double tap, center ball. You know, Rise, he trusted this team to be a world's contender. He thought this team's more likely to win the World Championship than my old team, Oxygen. That's why he's left Oxygen. You're almost guaranteed to make World's Wildcard, despite the departure of Rise and their poor start in this split. BDS are going to be that team Rise wants them to be. That team Rise thinks they will be. Then we're going to need to see the Seiko from last season. Monkeyman's been statistically brilliant so far this season, but synergistically less so. Seiko, it's been a bit invisible at times, but now he's starting to come back into the frame. And it looks like Rise will get a chance for a second here. He hits the bar with it. Not a good bounce for BDS.
I'm very curious how many times we've had a player move this far down in the overall standings for a roster move that they chose. Monkey Moon unable to follow. Rise back in. Seiko will get a chance for the shot, but was met at the seams. What a clear from Tox, and that is some much needed breathing room, but BDS known to be able to play this game. Seiko actually whiffed the ball. Rise tries to keep the play going, but that's back down to Ivan, and now it's going to be PSG Tundra's turn.
And pass is being attempted here from BDS, starting in defense. They are playing very, very carefully at the moment with their 3rd man. Double commits got them on the receiving end of counterattacks quite often yesterday, so they're probably trying to limit those in a new day, especially against a team known for that play style. All the time, you have to be so careful against players like Catalysm, Ivan, and Tox. With your overextensions, your overcommitments, it often leads to goals against you. BDS are all over them right now, but you know, it can go any way from here. They don't want to get baited too far in, but they will get the goal. Monkeyman punches it through.
I think there's a bump in the background as well. I want to keep an eye on this. Yes, Tox lands. Tries to get out of the way. Now I'm looking at Catalysm, and yeah, he's gone, but I don't think he was getting there anyway. There's too much work already done by Team BDS. And this is a position that throughout the entirety of the time that we have known PSG Tundra, Evil Geniuses, German Amigos, whatever name we've had them going by, it's kind of been the norm for them. They're there or thereabouts when it comes to major qualification, to world qualification, even going back to last season. They're seeing themselves in the same position again here, Johnny. they need this to go their way, and it very often hasn't.
Yeah, they're the gatekeepers, really, of these LAN spots, and they have made a couple of LANs themselves, but, you know, often they're the team to beat to make a LAN. That's what G1 had to do last split in a tiebreaker. They did it. Very consistently performing team. Like you said, they don't have that peak ability, at least not yet. They haven't shown the same highs, although their floor is, I think, very impressive. And it's thanks to their playstyle being so consistent. BDS have definitely peaked a lot higher than them. And as you know, the sum of the three parts have peaked a lot higher than them, with Rise joining. We know, probably top 2 player for the calendar year, alongside Vatira, year just passed. You know, if they can achieve greatness simultaneously, they're going to win, and they are doing so right now. Rise baits 2, Monkeyman puts it through.
Monkey Moon was the player that stepped up when they needed him yesterday against Oxygen. Right place, right time. Rise delivers it on a silver platter. And those two, despite a lack of time teaming, are finding each other more often than not. Ivan doesn't get a good block because Monkey Moon delayed his hit by a little bit. Let's keep an eye on the boost totals right now. So far, so good from Catalysm. Hasn't got the support arriving just yet. Now Tox comes in. Off the backboard, Ivan drops down, and teammates there.
Whoa!
This is what we love about this team. We don't get to see it enough, Johnny, when it's 0-0, but when this team has to try and claw back, we get the best of PSG Tundra.
It's so fascinating to see Catalysm in a position where he had all the options there. He had control of the ball, he had all the time, and he just plays the low 50, intentionally loses it to bring his second man into the play. Meanwhile, he steals the boost at the far side and then circles back in to give them another attacking angle. I mean, such patient play there by Catalysm. But will it be enough? Does our BDS come again? Oh, what's a save by Tox? Well, they're still in it.
Oh, that was such a good save by Tox. Decided to leave the early challenge because he knew the clairvoyance to keep it out. And now they've got to get this ball to the opposite side of the field. Catalysm keeps it up against Seiko, who pre-jumps him, tries to put the ball down, will succeed. BDS take it in an action-packed game 1.
A great try at the end there by PSG Tundra, but a read from Seiko on the incoming air dribble just left them in a very difficult position. BDS doing enough in the mid-game here. They had more pressure, more shots, and that did end up resulting in more goals. But, you know, it's all about BDS containing Tundra without overextending. They didn't overextend in this game and concede cheap goals. That is the key to victory here for BDS. And they keep this up for an entire best of 5. Loving to see that energy from Monkey Moon on camera. We've been missing that this season. They've not really had a lot to celebrate about. This is a chance for them to lock in top 6 in their first event together.
Well, Monkey Moon has been very open about the struggles that he's faced coming in after becoming world champion and trying to re-find that form for the rest of this season. So you do hope, for him at least, that things do start to look up. That is a good start for them. Reminder as well, the winner of this will be taking on the loser of El Splashico coming up soon. So we already know that we've got Vitality taking on Hogan mode. I can't believe that is a match. You told that to me 3 weeks ago. I really wouldn't have cared. But now I am all in on that one.
No, you're getting ahead of yourself a little bit there. I mean, they are...
No, it's happening. It's 100% happening because my predictions are always right, Johnny.
I mean, I think as well, Casey, you're likely to beat Vitality, but, you know, it's not locked in yet. There's still a chance for Hogan mode against
me and Chat. No, they've got my back.
Yeah, I think this is the easier side of the bracket, just by a little bit. You know, the fact that Karmine Corp have no chance of running into the winner of this match that we're currently watching definitely benefits the teams playing. Because Karmine Corp are that team in Europe when it gets into the final couple of days of a competition regionally. You know, Team Liquid as well, as of late, have also been very dominant, but not quite the Karmine Corp level. So a great run ahead of the winner of this matchup. BDS are on it right
realistic.
Now. Yeah.
Utter dominance is the Karmine Corp mode as of late. Imagine this season. We consider the worst part of their season being losing one of the best matches of the first LAN of the season, them against Moist. That's as bad as it's got for them, but we will talk about Hasty when they take to the field later on. For now, 0-0 might be about to change. Monkey Moon does exactly that.
Well, this is getting a bit scary now for PSG Tundra. It's BDS yet to really overextend. What a bump by Rise on the back wall there to open it up for Monkeyman, who slots to bottom left. They look consistent at the moment. That's what's been lacking all season. And if they can play consistently, I mean, sky's the limit for this team. We know what they're capable of. We know what they've done just in the past 9 months or so. That's when Monkeyman and Seiko were both in the conversation for best in the world. And Rise at the same time, also in the same conversation. So this is a stacked team, a super team if I've ever seen one. And right now, they look like a bit too much for PSGT.
When you do look at Seiko, I believe he's been kept on purely for potential, what he can be, what the potential is there. So far, it has mostly been Rise and Monkey Moon. But we also know that Seiko's there, and I think the whole world's just sort of hoping that we get to see the World Championship Seiko back on our screens. But now, the double trouble has been more than enough. Rise now on the ball. Not the best challenge for him. It was a bit inviting, but I do like the slowdown play there from BDS. Now Rise up on the wall. So many amazing plays start from him on this position. Is he going to go and try the entire way by himself? Realized that maybe a challenge there wouldn't have benefited his team. So half the game gone. Calism up, takes the shot.
Oh, wow.
Roller, and now we're on the counter.
my.
Rise breaks it past, now he's just got to recover it. He will do that every day.
Oh, Rise has just played that so well. Look at him making a passing option in such a tricky position. He knew there was a chance that clear would be awkward for his teammates, so he just makes it a little bit more easy by sitting underneath the ball, and then the 1v1 play comes through right afterwards. 2-0 BDS, Rise is him.
Oh, good kickoff though, losing it to the back corner. Catalysm wins the challenge. Has he got the boost to keep going? That was so close, and Seiko had to be wary of him. Monkey Moon pops it over the top. BDS happy for a double commit or two. They realize that they are in position to recover each time. Also that trust in the third man. Togs just in. And it's within reach.
All about placement here for Tox, as I think BDS got just slightly underneath the ball there. Rise in an awkward position to deal with anything that goes quickly over his head. That's exactly what happened. Tox, knowing that Rise isn't going to have any chance of saving a well-placed shot, sticks it top bins. Again, they're starting to come back late in the game, but is it going to be too little too late? Are they waiting a bit too long before fighting for that midfield and inviting BDS to come forward, get those early goals? I mean, where's the midfield pressure here? We need someone on that ball for PSGT, or BDS are just going to continue to create realistic chances to score.
I do want to give PSG Tundra a little bit of credit here as well, because I've had gripes with them and the sort of the lack of creativity often with their offense. I don't think that's necessarily been the case here. When they've needed to try and score, I do like what they're putting together. They're not just hoping that BDS are going to make a mistake that they can capitalize on. It's just, how do you keep creating those opportunities against this team? BDS proven to themselves that they're going to score 2 or 3. That means you've got to at least match that. Here is Seiko, just takes the shot off the demo on Tox. And he's just going to have to sit there and watch as it goes past him.
And that play started with Seiko, it finishes with Seiko. He does not get faked. He's the initial challenger on an air dribble. So what does he do? He plays the ball. He ignores any potential for mind games, and that results in another goal for BDS. It's brilliant play by Seiko. You know, I think he played so well last season that he's actually set expectations unrealistically high for himself. You know, people, they see Seiko not 1v3ing anymore, and they think, well, he's fallen off, but really, he's doing everything he needs to do for this team right now. I think Seiko's playing brilliantly, and, you know, look at how few times he's giving the ball away for free. Just a very efficient player, and this is exactly what they did to win the World Championship.
Wow.
Demo lands, though. It's off the post, and quick read by Tox. Well, again, PSGT back within goals.
I love that from Tox, because this is so difficult to get right. Everyone's been there, everyone's misread it, and instead knew exactly where that ball was about to bounce. PSG Tundra way within this, and with 1 goal separating them with a minute left, this could be the massive swing, the point of the series that we all look back on. And it is Tox yet again. Seiko's being harassed on the back line and still recovers it in time to get rid.
Yeah, again, brilliant by Seiko. Just sees exactly where he needs to be, plays the ball. I mean, he's just no-nonsense defense right now from Seiko, keeping BDS in strong positions. Can Catalysm make a solo play? It's just going to be a simple shot on target, not what they were hoping for. You know, it's interesting to note, in the past goal that BDS conceded, I think Rise's view of the ball was obscured by the demo, the smoke screen. on the goal line. That's probably what prevented him from reading the post bounce as well as Tox did, who could actually see around the smoke. Interesting to notice that the demo doesn't just take one player out of the game. It's such a valuable thing to go for, even in the modern day.
Well, have a look at the rotations right now from PSG Tundra. They're so wide. They're keeping it so open, and it's giving them these opportunities. I want to keep an eye on this, because look at where Catalysm is, and he's been sat there for 4 seconds before that ball even made it to him. When was the last time, Johnny, you saw PSG Tundra play this far in front of the ball?
Yeah, I'm liking the wide angle as well. I mean, that made Seiko's job extremely difficult. It's so difficult to read that bounce overhead compared to the player attacking the ball directly. Ivan easily beat Seiko to it. This time they are able to do what they could not do in game one, come back and equalize. Will they be able to tie the series as well?
Oh, Seiko, they're both going to whiff it. Or, well, as I like to say, it was a handshake in midair to agree to overtime.
Not really any cheeky kickoff strats by either team here. It looks like it's going to go relatively even. Plenty boost for both teams to play with here. Looks like plenty space for Seiko to get up into the air. Now this does look a bit like the Seiko of old. One reset and a shot on target, but Tox avoids the dunk. Clears the ball to the side, back in the middle, but the whole team's here.
Just keeping that pressure on though is good for BDS. It's gonna whip her away though. Ivan back up, does good enough with the challenge. There's a lot of players committed to the corner right now for players over on PSG Tundra. Fox just pops the ball up, realizes he doesn't have the boost to follow. So it's either going to be 1-1 or 2-0. It's quite a large swing either way. Seiko misses the ball. Tox back to Ivan. Monkey Moon should be comfortable enough.
I mean, this would be such a classic Catalysm Tox and Ivan move to just squeak out an equalizer here, completely change the momentum of the series. I mean, BDS have been better today, but now suddenly it's 1-1. And it's another bump this time. An overcommitment in the corner for BDS. They were making the same mistake yesterday in the upper bracket. They've done it again. It's these 2-for-1s in the forward corner. You cannot be out of position like this. Leaving the third man isolated. I mean, Seiko is the one. He's the one getting bumped there, but it's Monkey Moon and Rise who have left him at the back by himself. BDS, they fall for PSG Tundra's tricks.
Tox comes through with the hat-trick hero in order to do it. I do like the way they play that though. Just dove straight in to try and pressure Seiko on the back line. Had to move early, and he just had nowhere ready to go. As long as that is played correctly on PSG Tundra's side, then it is going to work. Now, I want to get your answer to something here, Johnny, because I am curious, because we've come into this weekend, it's all been Zen, 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 but he seems to be handling it very well on his side. Has Rise got more pressure on him with this move that he chose than Zen does? Is he the player with the most to prove this split?
I think right now he does, but it's because they're in the lower bracket. Zen's in the upper bracket, so that's obviously a great place to be in double elimination. You're on your last life in the lower bracket, and this best of 5 has just turned into a best of 3 with tournament life on the line against their biggest rivals when you look at the overall point standings. Yes, a ton of pressure on Rise. I'd say maybe more right now than Zen, because everybody's got higher expectations for Zen in terms of his individual impact on the field. But results-wise, Rise, he set the bar at the highest place it could be. Are they going to get immediate revenge here? No. Oh, it's an own goal, though. Well, the demo didn't land. Catalysm did well. I think, yeah, it was Tox actually did well to dodge it, but Catalysm's driven into the ball.
That hurts. That hurts so much. After the amount of good work that this team did in the previous game, and then you just get sucker punched like that. But if we know anything about PSG Tundra, is that they don't like to start these games off very well. They like to fight back in the second half of it. So you know what? Maybe that was intentional.
It is a bit unlucky for Catalysm. The ball could not have bounced any worse for him, but he didn't need to be there. He didn't need to be driving straight back towards his goal. He did have a bit of time where he could have taken a side-on approach and still been in that area to follow up on Tox's 50-50. I mean, Tox did so well, dodging the demo and 15 clear. That's not 15 clear, though. 2-0. I mean, it's the same again. BDS have the quicker start.
Okay, anytime now, PSG Tundra. It was funny, but maybe this should not be a habit.
Maybe not.
Oh, dear. Okay, well, I believe in them. They can make something of this.
It's just two 50-50s that have resulted in goals. Seiko did brilliantly there, just baiting a challenge from Ivan midair. Ivan thought Seiko was going to try and dunk him, but Seiko just slowed down, let Ivan hit the ball softly. And, you know, Ivan thought it's a big bump. Wait, he's actually got him. This is just the most physical game that we've seen in a while. Catalysm will be credited with a goal. Look at Ivan upfield, taking Seiko out of the air.
Is this like one of those mythical teams that we're going to start talking about, Johnny? 2 goals down, PSG Tundra.
Yeah.
Like, they play so... I understand that the first 2 goals kind of came out of nowhere. It's from the mucky parts of Rocket League gameplay. But PSG Tundra, when they open up the angles and give themselves passing options and leave a player downfield, are the best definition of or version of this team I have ever seen.
I mean, it's what we've been asking this team to do.
It's been frustrating. I'm so annoyed.
We want to see them play confidently, and that's what they're doing when they're down. They're actually going to equalize Ivan with the flip reset.
What is this?
I mean, it's exactly like you're saying. They play their best Rocket League when they're losing, because then they finally have to go out and hunt for the comeback. This time it comes a lot earlier, with a long way to go in Game 3. PSG Tundra swing the momentum heavily in their favor.
Ivan talks Catalysm. You don't have to bring me on as a coach for this. I'm going to give you the best advice I've ever given anybody. Get a sticky note, all of you, put it in front of your opponent's side, and just put 2 over there. You don't have to actually do it in-game.
Yeah, be careful. If you are going to put a sticky note on your monitor and you're playing Rocket League, put it anywhere but the bottom right. That's going to really hinder your ability to play. You know, maybe not the only place that's going to hinder you.
There is a YouTube video right there for anybody that wants it. Every time I win a game, I put a sticky note on my monitor. There you are. That's out there in the world.
Oh,
Go
wow.
ahead and take it.
All the YouTubers have just written that down on their sticky note, probably, as we speak. 2-2. So a bit of a calm before an inevitable storm late game here. If one thing, I love how PSG Tundra are diving towards the ball from awkward angles. You know, BDS probably came into this expecting standard rotation from this team. They're a very normal team in how they play Rocket League. They don't like to take risks. They like to just rotate back. But what we're seeing today from PSG Tundra is a lot more activity on the rotation back, and it seems to be catching BDS off guard.
Well, half the game to play. PSG Tundra don't seem to know what to do with themselves. They've already done what they needed to do, get themselves back in. And now, I want to see how they go about this. I want to see if there is an actual, tangible difference to the way they go about this game. And as Rise forced to delay, Ivan out boost. Good challenge though from Catalysm. Looks for another one, and they keep winning each and every one of these. Togs doesn't get it over the line. Seiko there just in time. And now Rise goes looking for Monkey Moon. And Monkey Moon is not quite that tall.
Yeah, Tox definitely had an open net there, but he was so close to the ball when it popped up in front of him. He actually had to just slow it down to keep it on target. Now Seiko starting to pop off. Little floor double on target from him. Not the best clear. That's going to invite Monkey Moon into the air. He doesn't get the block on Catalysm though, who's still up for this. Trying to block Rise.
Oh, you need to get that.
Rise saw Catalysm coming, so he's able to dodge that block. It's one of the worst feelings when you hit the ball straight into somebody who's just falling back down to the ground.
Catalysm up against Seiko, who does enough to at least bring back the troops. Now Rise back in. Infield, Monkey Moon takes it back over. Not really a goal-scoring play there. But it is always those two. It's a combination of Monkey Moon and Rise playing it out from the backfield, trying to pass it infield. I'm interested to see if PSG Tundra can start getting a little bit of a read on that one. Make use of that, maybe try and get themselves an interception. Seiko now in, 2 players up. Tops keeps the ball around. Minute on the clock. What an important goal it would be. That's not the best touch from Seiko, and now his team's scrambling. Does get himself back in time, but those need to be ironed out.
Yeah, Seiko and Monkey Moon trying to synergize there. Seiko looking to pop it up for Monkey Moon, but didn't go close enough for it to be a safe play to go for. More bumps being attempted here by PSG Tundra. And eventually, it does end in a BDS counter-attack, which is stopped short in the midfield. Tox looking active as he has at the tail end of games. Rise wants Ivan to challenge him here, and he gets the challenge to come towards him, but the offload pass taken away by PSG Tundra's third man. Monkey Moon runs out and boost to the worst time. Rise is covered in it.
Oh, Rice is going to try and go for the outplay to win the game for his team. Can he do it? Ivan shuts it down. Do we need overtime? Monkey Moon off the backboard. Here comes Seiko. Shut down by Catalysm. That's an awkward bounce, though, and the play will keep going.
Oh, Monkey Moon's bumping. He lands it. Rise. Denied. Multiple defenders forced to jump. Monkey Moon with the perfect assist there. PSG Tundra respond.
And before you can even take a breath in, we go to overtime. Winner of this, double match points in what is humongous for both of these team seasons. Both of them trailing right now when it comes to finding their way to the World Championship. BDS further back of the two. Have to win this or they are eliminated. Before they get there, they need this one and they need double match points. Seiko has got Rise around. The corner.
Seiko's got to be calling that he's got a low boost there. Oh my goodness, Monkey with a massive dunk. You know, if BDS are calling low boost, it looks like they're going to just play a bit more conservatively with the players following up. Seiko actually got a lot better of a touch than he probably expected in that last attacking play.
Seiko just fakes it out, but Ivan recovers. Monkey Moon tasked with now trying to get rid of this. Double commit. Double the chance to hit, but this time neither of them got it. And now Rise has bumped Monkey Moon. Rise has accidentally got in the way twice now. He does bail his team out.
Yeah, BDS getting a bit stacked in defense there. Just for a moment, it looked like it might go against them. It wasn't a terrible idea. You know, Seiko, he cut off Rise because he knew he could beat the PSG Thunder player to the ball. Now, this might be a redirect from Ivan. He misses it. Again, BDS getting a bit clogged at the near post in defense. They've got to be careful to spread out here. They don't want to clump up like this and allow one touch to go over everyone's head. Infield pass. Tossed off well by Catalysm. He might be able to get on the end of this again. He does. Not much on it though. Easily cleared by Monkey Moon.
Yeah, there was the chance for a clean hit. So Monkey Moon was going to be back in time, but oh, what a touch there from Seiko. And Monkey Moon was considering it. But he didn't want to risk maybe leaving Rise back by himself. Off the backboard.
Well played.
Again from Ivan. You can't allow those to just bounce off for free off your backboard, no matter how awkward it is.
And it's just another example of PSG Tundra. They're pressuring with their recovering player. That's an air dribble challenge. And now Rise is going to be air dribbling again. He's past everybody here. It's on the goal line. Sterling Seiko scores! Rise has PSG Tundra all over the place with the air dribble and then fakes the reset. But somebody's got to play the ball there. PSG Tundra, they completely capitulate.
Well, Rise asked the questions. PSG Tundra had none of the answers, ripped up the exam sheet, and just stormed out of the building. BDS, double match points. And we were talking to you earlier on, Johnny, about how that pressure is for this team. As soon as we hit that overtime, yeah, I felt it on behalf of them. It's just ridiculous how fine the margins are this season, this split. And now it's up to PSG Tundra to put that pressure back on them.
I mean, yeah, that was not easy for BDS, especially at the end of overtime. They started to get very antsy in defense, double committing a couple of times, trying to force themselves into the play. That's, I think, how they lose goals this weekend. I think they've gotten away with one there because a couple of times, I think the communication just went out the window. They came away with a win, but they need to communicate. If they're going to cut each other off with, breaks of rotation, like we've seen from Seiko, like we've seen from Monkey Moon, it's got to be calmed early so that the third man can follow up on what is a pass rather than just committing fully to the play. Lovely little shot there of the Kiwi. We love to see that in RLCS. I do, at least. I know it's been a bit of a controversial wheel choice. What do you think, Trogan? I think for me it's
sorry, controversial? What? When did this happen?
Well, you know, I've been chatting to some of the casters back behind the scenes, and not everyone's a fan, but I think I like it. I think it looks very clean. It looks real. Looks like a real Kiwi. So I think, you know, I back it. I think it's a great wheel choice.
Yeah, it's solid, I guess. All right, cool. I need to find out who this is that's got controversial opinions over a Kiwi wheel.
I'll call him out. James Bott. James Bott didn't like it.
Oh my goodness. All right.
I'm a fan.
Right, I know what I'm doing after this match. Rise moves on in. He was the goal provider earlier on. He's now also finding Seiko yet again. BDS just want to keep that pressure up. Rise has provided that yet again. He had a bit of a rough moment. It's towards the beginning part of that overtime. But managed to make it up. And I think Rise it seems like he's figured something out because he is slowing down the play every time he gets the ball and trying to show off those mechanics.
Yeah, I think this is a style that can work well for them. Monkey Moon just going to catch the ball on the goal line there. Casual stuff from him. Offloading to Seiko, but look, even though Seiko's playing a clean touch, he's got a 50 to back it up. Rise very early on the pre-jump to intercept the air dribble from PSG Tundra. BDS starting to swarm them a little bit here. And I think Seiko looks confident. If Seiko's confident, this team is going to do numbers, and Rise open to scoring off the aforementioned pass.
Good challenge win. Player is gone. Put the ball behind the keeper. BDS do all 3 stages well. And they have got themselves a 1-goal lead. Unfortunately, Johnny, they're going to score another one in the next minute, and then the match actually starts.
Yeah, we're halfway to the first chapter of this game being completed. BDS up by 2 goals before the inevitable comeback from PSG Tundra. Taking a while to get that second goal. Maybe this is the strategy for BDS. They're thinking maybe if we just never go up 2-0, the comeback won't happen. Infield pass very sideways there by Seiko. He wasn't ready for that to be as directly at him. Not that it's a bad pass by Monkey Moon, but again, you know, just about the communication, about the synergy for BDS there. I mean, they're both doing good things, but they don't work together perfectly in that position.
I do want to point out just a moment ago a massive bump from Monkey Moon that allowed him time to get all the way back, and now it's led further on. There's our 2-goal lead. Okay, everybody, here we go. PSG Tundra, can you copy-paste the script yet again?
You know, Seiko's 50s are really, really doing damage to PSG Tundra's chances right now. They just cannot get the ball through him. They can't get the ball away from him. And, you know, that it is a mechanic that we have to value and praise in Rocket League, especially these days. With the Fennec's rise in popularity, I mean, that's what the Fennec is all about. It's just controlling the ball, winning 50s. Can Ivan do so in his? No, it's just going to be cut off on the backboard. Again, PSG Tundra come to life, though, when they're 2-0 down. Suddenly we're seeing the attacking posture, which was missing earlier on.
It's like it doesn't matter if we're 3 goals down, so I'm just going to stay downfield a little bit longer. I think it is just that moment of thinking that they can be a little bit aggressive because it hasn't got the effect that it does when you are 1-1 or 1-0 down. Away, PSG Tundra looking better. Also looking like they need to get back now. Rise, once again, wreaking havoc whenever he gets a hold of the ball. Seiko ends up missing it, but can turn himself back in. All out, Rise to make it 3, and he's missed the target.
Not a lot of time left for PSG Tundra if they're going to continue to play with low-risk strategy. Seiko alone here, but he wastes a lot of time. I mean, look how much time that touch wastes. He's made sure not to hit the ceiling with it. Also made sure not to leave it as a low-hanging fruit for PSG Tundra to reach. Ivan disrupting on his way back, but it's fallen again to BDS. Rise launches. Stopped once more by Ivan in the midfield. You know, I just think, to continue saying it, this is the way that I think PSG Tundra should be playing. Like, from the get-go, straight away, just unpredictable, attacking style with the bumps, and this resulted in another goal. I mean, a bump isn't even needed here, but simply the threat of one makes space for the finish.
That's a right strike, but come on, you can at least put some effort at this point. Right, 1 goal left, 1 minute left. I've said that one before. Let's see if we have got a different result, if we're going to be renewed for Season 5 over at Champions Field. Ivan up against Rise. He kind of sliced it a little bit, but Tox missed it off Monkey Moon's fake. Seiko off the ceiling. And yes, this is going to be some sort of confirmation bias for me and Johnny about the end of this series regarding how PSG Tundra should go about playing their Rocket League. But for now, they just have to keep applying it for the next 40 seconds. Rise already downfield. Seiko's outplaying everybody. And even if he doesn't get to take that and create a goal score opportunity, that's so much time off the clock.
That's, again, a good cut there by Seiko to disrupt the counter-attack.
Oh, no way.
Reacted brilliantly to this. It is saved by Monkey Moon. You know, there's the comms for BDS. Almost conceding there. Because a good cut of rotation is not communicated early enough. Third man dives unnecessarily. Now, not a lot of time left, but here come PSG again. Oh, they've almost done it.
They're going to have another chance at this. Tox turns round. are still playable. They're going for the goalkeeper demo. That's still up in the air. Catalysm wins the ball to Ivan. Back to Catalysm. And he missed the target, missed the ball, and missed their chance. Team BDS will move on.
BDS are back in the top 6. What an important win that is. Closing the points gap to PSG Tundra and also leaving more points on the table for themselves. Up for grabs later on today, later on this weekend. They can really put themselves in not just the running, but in the lead for making the major and in the lead for making the World's Wildcard. What a relief that must feel for BDS. This is their minimum, I think, for this weekend. Top 6. That's what they were really, I think, as a starting point, looking to get. And now, just like Scrub said earlier for Hogan mode, it's a bonus from here on. Extra also with the team. Love to see that. The support from Extra, the former world champion, defending world champion, substitute for the team. There to help them out in any way that he can. But, oh man, PSG Tundra, I mean, they played their best Rocket League when they were losing. I mean, it took that. It took the loss. It took them being trailing in scoreline to really go for it and be unpredictable. I think until then, they were just a bit too predictable. All, consistent, yes, but I want to see more risks be taken for this team in the future.
Yeah, absolutely so. And like I said, it's confirmation bias for me and you because we have been angry about this all season. And now I feel even more justified in those thoughts. But for BDS, that is massive. The last thing they needed after a roster move this big, and especially for Rise, is to go from 8th in the region to still being 7th to 8th in the region. But they move on. And when we come back, we will get our next match on the board.